It's Queen Sereda with Naturally High Life. The details to work with me are below. Enjoy. Greetings, what's going on? This is Queen Sereda coming to you with another collective tarot, oracle, divination reading. Whenever you get this reading, it is timeless, as all of the readings that I've done are, even if they have a date on them. They are all timeless because everything is happening simultaneously. Now, this reading is being done it's like an emergency reading. So here you go. I'm moving around too much as I'm channeling this message. So this is the way readings will be done for right now, because something different is required at this time. This reading is straight up for those of you who found this reading, because not everybody's going to see this. This is not by coincidence. Now, quickly get this reading out. Maybe 15 minutes, maybe less. But here you go. The reading revolves around the energy of politics. Politics, game playing, stories changing at the last minute, being told one thing and then being told something else, deception. And that energy has been a bit of a two-faced energy. There's been betrayal in there, an extra dose of deception. You've seen people reveal what's under the mask. You've seen people reveal a lot that you've never seen before. Sure, other times you've seen signs but now the reason behind the mask has come up and is being shown. It's been a bit embarrassing. It's been very much so for those of you who are starseeds and earth angels, and you feel like you're on a mission and you feel like you're favored, you're chosen, but what happened with this politics energy? Well, the same time that you came, other people have come for lessons. Both of you have come forth to learn lessons while on earth that you forgot for the most part. And now those of you who are here to do higher work, to expand yourself and live out of your higher consciousness, who you really are, and to be a earth angel for real on earth, with all the deception, all the masks, all of the acting, waiting till the lights are on to perform type of stuff going on, right? This narcissistic so-called codependency so-called type of vibration going on. This current of feel-good times, and then the opposite. You turn around and you're like, why am I hanging out with an enemy? Some of you have been having that. You're like, why am I so close to an enemy? And the reasoning has to do with you all played different roles this lifetime. And not only is it something ordained by the source, God, creator, collective consciousness. Well, it's a very serious thing, right? But it's also been very funny because you have seen the so-called disgusting image under the mask that people have under the mask, but you know what? They don't even know that that's not even them. It's not real. It's not them, but they think it is. And it's been built up for a long time. And it has parts of their ancestral lineage and all of that in there. It has stories of oppression in there. It has stories of winning. It has stories of needing to conquer things and being very much so with this energy of the politics. It's been a lot of people living out of scarcity in their mindset, in the way that they're breathing, in the way that they're being in their everyday. This is a very serious sounding message, because for those of you who are here to get this message, this spiritual message, this is not something where I'm like, oh, I don't know if I'm connected to the source. When you get to this channel and you find these readings, they're coming from a space where God is coming through, because I know God. I know it. I know God is real. And if you found this message, you have learned to rely on something beyond what's shown on a mask. Because people can make the mask look all kind of ways. But on every day of the week, these masks can be pretty ugly. They can be bright, vivacious, and they can look sad. They can look gloomy. People can paint them with whatever they want. Unbeknownst to most people, though, this mask is not who they are. And that's why I changed the subject a second ago, because that's why you have found God. You have had to learn to love unconditionally with this. You feel like you've lost so much through pouring of tears and energy, trying to do the right thing, trying to reveal who you are, trying to shine your light, be as authentic as possible. Those of you listening to this, somebody knows. You have found comfort also in revealing what's under your person's mask. You have found defined a different version of you. You have placed healing on your life because you stayed the course. Some people left. Some people said, this is too real. I got to go. I don't have time for this lesson. I graduated already. So be it. But when you haven't learned a lesson and your soul knows it, you know it, it's in you, you're going to have to circle back around and get that lesson. So you can postpone the lessons as long as you want. We can hit the pause button for as much as we want in the universe. We're a part of this consciousness, this oneness. We have a say. But what happens is, in your subconscious, if there's unfinished business, then you will come back around. And that perseverance that you've been having with these difficult, challenging, disturbing times, some of us have perceived certain times as disturbing, like you were shocked out of your boots, like, why? And I've realized from channeling these messages and doing some readings, people are going through the same lessons as a collective. So that's why the readings were coming through like they were before, but then they shifted. I see people looking at the readings, but you've got to hit the like button. Who else is going to like our stuff as earth seeds and earth angels and star seeds? And, who is going to do it if we don't do it? Do you think other people are going to understand what I'm talking about in these readings? The thing is, all the nice, soft vibrational energy has been necessary. The feminine energy has been very necessary. I'm talking in polarities right now. But a lot of the collective has had to really tap into their other polarity. Whatever polarity needed to be strengthened and shined more for you to do what's necessary in the world while you're here, because you are here on a mission. The persons that I'm talking to are here on a divine mission. And it's not always easy to hear that you signed up for this type of bullshit, some of you are saying. And I get it. The whole load of it has been going down. And you've had to embody a higher vibration while at the same time being on a lower vibration. And you've probably been like, how the heck am I doing this right now? I'm vibrating high and low. I'm resonating with different aspects of my environment. And I'm able to channel at different levels at the same time. And you've been suspended seemingly in the same locations for longer than you can even sometimes remember. It's been hard. But there's a reason for it, because some of you all have asked for these upgrades because you have other work to do. This work looks fun though. This is the type of fun that has come about after being challenged for so freaking hard. They say pressure creates diamonds. And this is not something that you all listening to this reading are alien to. You know about challenge. You know about unconditional love. You've been learning lessons of feeling the regal royalty that you are as a divine being, even though people have called you names. People have mistaken your words. People have taken you for granted. People have taken the goodness that you've done and said you didn't do nothing. They said you didn't do shit. You're not about shit. You've sat through people throwing things at you psychically, vibrationally, behind your back, talking about you behind your back, while you've been suspended in time by the universe. Because what I want to tell you is, it sounds so poetic, probably what is coming out of me right now as I'm channeling, but Spirit, God, the source, the universe is telling me all this stuff is going down because of the commitments that you made and other people made to learn lessons, right? But how are they being instrumented? How are they being put into action by the universe, by God? Through the cosmos. Through the cosmos. And I can't get it out fast enough. So when Aries moves this way, bam, you're moving that way. When this planet moves this way, bam, you're doing this. Yes, it needs to be aligned with how your planets are, but I'm telling you, those planets be moving the body around. This is why it's so pivotal for you all, chosen ones, star seeds, those who chose to rise to a higher degree this lifetime, being a beacon in the world, shining your light, your vibration, being more at one with the breath, being more aware. God uses us, you, to come through. What else is it going to be coming through when it's doing its good deeds? It's got to come through someone who's rising up. So if you want even more of this positive energy that you've been seeing peeking through at you, laughing through the challenges, as you've been finding joy in the pain. You've persevered. At the full moon, there are rewards being bestowed onto you. Of course, they're already present because you're already present with everything that is. But you've got to say that you are saying yes to this stuff. Yes. Say yes. Being the magician in your life has turned your life around. And this hangman position, type of energy of being turned upside down, suspended in time, well, it's over. It's over already. The politics, that energy has turned around as well. Even though we started the reading off talking about the politics and the games and the so-called deception and the betrayals and having to cut people off at length, because you've got to rise up, and you have understood and you've learned and you've noticed probably that you can only do that when you go and incubate yourself by yourself. You have to do a sort of quarantine, a sabbatical, to pull back. And that has been done for many of you. Some of you would not take a break if you weren't in freeze mode, dealing with complex trauma effects from the past and reliving it over and over again as empaths, as the connected ones that you are, that being sensitive and all of that, and people calling you too sensitive. Well, you've learned all of this is a superpower. And the trauma, oh goodness, I wish none of it happened, right? But guess what? It's showing here that has shocked you into being the magician because you've seeked and called out for God. Your divine nature has been rising now for it's been years now. It's time to get out of the belief of God and standing proud in the knowing of God, in the source, in who you are, and that you are always aligned with this vibration, and this is your calling. Those of you listening to this, at the middle of everything is being the magician, saying, I choose to live a better life. And another message is coming through about the rewards from standing in your power, from setting the boundaries, from telling people hell no, from telling people I love you, but I love me, and I've got to have me anchored, and then I can kick it with you. Setting strong boundaries, not being afraid of getting your hands dirty if necessary, of not being afraid of saying what needs to be said, even if it sounds mean. Moving through that part of you with love, non-judgment, with awareness, and learning to transmute with the divine laws, to use the law of transmutation, transmuting the past transgressions, the past lessons, the past so-called pains, hurts, and all of that stuff that you may have perceived at some time or place or now as being against you, taking all of that and transmuting it into your greatest self, your greatest reality. For you and your whole lineage, for you and you. And that is ordained by the source. Your ability to transmute is so off the hook, you've got to use it. But then on top of the transmutation that you need to be doing on a regular basis, Spirit is saying, you've also got to meditate. And if you're at this reading, I'm sure you would agree that you're able to stand in your truth that much more with the sun, the consciousness, beautiful, bright, magnificent energy of the sun shining through you because you're feeling your nature, because God has been asked to operate and do its work with and through you. You're being asked to continue that forward, people. As you're moving forward, the word forward is just popping up. You have changed your whole environment already. This is making people upset, happy, sad, all kind of different things. Sometimes super happy. But as you see, the vibration has somehow risen. So another message in this reading about the meditation has to do with the need to always be recentering. And some lessons is taught as pulling yourself back to the center screen, so you're not completely focused on the outside like you're watching a movie, and you're not completely in your head. You're in the center and you're being aware. That is where the source is, and it wants to operate through each of us at different levels and different frequencies. But to be able to do the work that someone who is a earth angel is to find your center screen and to project out into the world from there. Projecting out into the world looks like meditating, which in truth is going to just awaken your third eye and everything else, and balance things out and restore and collect the codes that you need to do the work you came here to do. So just sitting with the source for a few minutes. Start as small as you need to, and then increase it. There's no need to feel guilty about not sitting for hours, and because that's not going to work out here unless you set it up that way. And if you aren't planning it that way, then it's going to be, you need to use it. Make it work for you. Yes, make it work for you in the fashion that benefits you the most. So if you only have 10 minutes, 5 minutes, 15 minutes, do what you can do as you have been doing. The reading is saying you've been moving upwards, forwards, expanding, allowing, saying yes, being more grateful, even being upset, but letting it be known, and then letting it go, and then coming back again with a loving heart. That is an angel. Blessings are yours as a result of all of the continued cycles that you've kept repeating that were so filled with turmoil, pain, and everything else. But know that all of it was not your own. That's the most important part of the reading. The Spirit is saying that a lot of this on your spiritual quest came from other lifetimes, from your ancestors. And these are things that you've been having to work through and move through, so you haven't really been able to be fully in your power this lifetime. And they say it's by no fault of your own, despite the fact that you are one with all. You are one with all. There's a part of you that's fully aware of what's been happening, and it knows how to respond to all of the seeming challenges. Because guess what? It said that when you experience these challenges, it's the planets around you that are in your chart that end up being people. They'll manifest as people. One of my astrology teachers once said that, I remember now, that the lessons in your chart and things like that and the planets, they manifest in everyday life. God uses us to do the work. The planets are the energy behind it all. And they all teach different lessons. So just aligning with the cosmos overall, meditating with the breath, being more aware of your breath throughout the day, you can mitigate a lot of things if you're just standing in your power. And people are going to think it's a weird thing sometimes because you're so nice, you're so kind, you're so giving and forgiving and X, Y, and Z and blah, 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 right? But it goes on because that's what angels are. Yes, you've had your moments where you look like you may have been falling apart. Maybe you have been going through homelessness. You minimize too much. You collected too much. You didn't let go enough. Whatever it is. You're wondering if the decisions you've been making have been working for your highest good. Well, this reading says you're getting blessings from it. And one of the blessings is the transmutation, using that, remembering to use it throughout the day, to not be feeling no guilt, no shame, feeling blame from other people who like to project onto angels. They just like to do it because you're you're part of the earth. You're so earthy. You're part of the earth. Well, you can transmute things like trees do because you're aligning with your divine self. So you're not holding on to things, but you still got to set boundaries, not be taken advantage of, so you can move forward because it's time. Your ancestors want you to get out of living just in their shadow and get out of living in just the challenges that they dealt with. It's time for a new day. The expansion is happening again, and it's time to just pour the most love you can into you, and of course those around you who you've set good, positive boundaries with. Just share your love in the ways that you can, and the ways that you're not able to, don't do it that way. Do what you feel aligned with. You get to determine what that looks like and what that is. So one of the ways God Source is saying to gift yourself as well when you are this earth angel is be more aware of the planetary hours. Be more aware of the different transits and shifts that are going on throughout the day. So that means maybe having an app for astrology and just seeing what hours it is. Is it Mars's hour? Is it Venus's hour? Because when you know that, different things go down in different planetary hours. Different keynotes, different signs, different things will be more advantageous, and others will be more easier to do or better to do at a different time, a different hour. So something to pay attention to if you want to. If you're going to be really aligned in your meditations and doing all of that, you can use your intuition and feel your way through all of this. But if you want to put some eyes to what you're feeling and picking up from the cosmos and from the source, you can utilize the daily messages that you see in a horoscope that is aligned with your chart. So these blessings have to do with paying attention to transmuting, letting go, the art of forgiveness, the law of forgiveness, utilizing the divine laws. You can look them up. The will of change is all over you, though. If you've been hoping that a positive cycle would expand, a challenging cycle would end, if you're wanting to know what's the best way to nurture yourself the best at this time as an earth angel, star seed, let me tell you, as just a spiritual being, doesn't matter what your religion is at this point. I don't care what you believe in. You're breathing in the air. Source says you're breathing in the oxygen. You're here listening to this reading. You're one with the source. You can stop questioning it now. It's amazing, isn't it? That you're one with the integral source of all that is, and change is all over you because of the self-love. So if you want to give that self-love, going back to that, meditation is one of the ways. So you all can definitely get with me. I'll be meditating. I must. It has been the best support for all of the shifts that star seeds and we pick up. Some people will never understand what we're talking about right now, but you're feeling all of the planetary changes within you, and it can be really hard until you know how to deal with that, to deal with it in a conscious way and also feel like you're living your purpose and not being merely just shaken up all the time. So some of you have learned throughout all of this series of months and years. This has been years for the collective. These lessons have been for years. Some of you have learned to trust that there is something out there higher to reach for and to be, and that you're a part of it. Some of you have learned to believe in a source. Some of you have learned who you really are. Some of you have experienced yourself as the oneness. Some of you have really learned how to tap into your gifts intuitively. Some of you have really learned how to trust your intuition like never before, because you had to rely on it in the most so-called heinous of situations. And you signed up for it because you said, you know what? I need to wake up when I get there. I do not want to stay asleep. So some of you chose to wake up, well, this lifetime. Of course you would. So yeah, the part of change, you being more comfortable with being who you really are, you being comfortable with removing your different masks that you may have had to put on throughout this life. You learning to do the shadow work, to look at what's underneath the stairs within your subconscious, and learning to laugh at it. That's big time growth that I see many of you all have learned to do as a result of feeling cursed. So the curse is now a blessing. The fake curse that was on your life has turned into a blessing. The fake curse that was put on your life has turned into a blessing. So all the politics, the going back and forth, the not understanding each other, and not wanting to be around people, there's been a reason for it. Look at what happened. Many of you just wanted to find a way to get some peace. And those of you who have found this reading, like I said before, it's not going to be something that everybody's going to see. I think people think this is not real stuff sometimes. People that don't know yet, haven't lived through something and experienced God showing up. When you've called out to the energy, to the source, and it works in mysterious ways, it does. But people who haven't experienced that because they haven't the awareness yet, they're going to think that something is not pure. They're going to think that stuff is fake. They're going to think this is a game. They're going to think this is not serious. There's so many movies that distort people's way of seeing things. And so they have to experience. They have to go into the experience on their spiritual quest. But many people are not willing to do this work because they didn't come here to do it in the first place. But there are people that are opening up. People like you who are opening up, who are seeing between the cracks. You've gone into the shadows. You've looked at the unpleasant. You've shifted and changed and expanded and tapped into your superpowers that were already present. You've learned to become more authentic through persevering, through challenge. You're literally unbreakable at this point. And trusting God was one of the best things that you could have done this lifetime, because that's exactly what these trials and tribulations and judgments have been all about for you earth angels. You may call yourselves many things, but one thing that you are is an earth angel. I created a whole body of work, a tarot deck called The Sacred Call of the Ancestors. And that's how hard my ancestors were tapping on my shoulder to get with the program. I had to dive deep. And that's what you all have been doing. And you have all kinds of stories to tell about it, to share about it. Even if you do it anonymously, some of you have been getting the insight. Like, how do I make money off of all of this darkness that I've so-called gone through? So-called darkness, rather, that I know you went through. How do you deal with that? Own that shit. And write about it. Write about it online. Write about it offline. Journal about it. Transmute it. Or let it go. But if you are here to give your messages via writing, via the word, if you have a heavy Mercury influence, then communication is going to be massive for you. And at this time, as you all have found out, beyond just communication, But as those of you who have found out on your spiritual quest as earth angels, if you don't rise to the occasion and snap out of it occasionally and wake up, you know what happens? Your life begins to so-called fall apart. Your life seems to have a curse on it. Your life seems to be very affected by what's going on in it. And those things are going on because you wanted to wake up. One more message for you in this reading. Receive. It's time to receive. You already went through it. You don't have to prove what you know. Live what you know now. Don't feel ashamed of wanting a good life, of wanting change. Don't be ashamed or any of that, of wanting to see, of wanting to know the truth. This is your mission as a earth angel. You have a commitment that you made with yourself, with your higher self. Communicate with it. Communicate with your ancestors. Restore. Restore. Remember, this is the real deal. People think that this is a game, but this is the real effing deal. You really are it. And you've had to learn how to get that edge. Or people will try you. People have tried you. And you've learned how to stand up for what you value. Invaluable. It's invaluable because that is exactly what you're supposed to do. You want future generations to be stronger, not weaker, right? Exactly. So, all of the energy that is being felt now from the sun shining its glowing light all over everything, tap in with the source. Align with your mission. What is that mission? Journal about it. Reach out to me for a numerology report. It has everything to do with your life path number. Nothing's by accident. What's my life path number? Ask yourself that and align with your mission. Accept your spiritual quest. Don't be afraid of it. You can still have fun. You can still go through the stages of growing up. You know? So you don't have to just completely cut off cursing, so to speak, or whatever. Create what you want. God is in everything. Be God on earth, or be a divine being that God can come through and do its work through. This world can use it more than ever. Continue to love those who you love and love yourself. And I know you want to take care of your world, but just remember, God is taking care of the world. Just immerse yourself in the things that you enjoy and want to see. Programming with repetition. With gratitude. And if you don't care for traditional affirmations, use ask-affirmations. Why am I having such a good life? Why am I enjoying my life so much? Why is my life getting better and better? Why is God so good to me? Why are all of my needs met all the time? And traditional ones, I am feeling so good. I feel so whole and so joyful. I am a dedicated, happy person. I am so good at everything I do. So yeah, immerse yourself in repetition of the things you want to see more of. These are your gifts. These are your powers. As you've seen so much synchronicities, triple numbers, 1, 2, 3, 1, 1, 1, 2, 2, 2, 3, 3, 3, 4, 4, 4, 5, 5, 5, 6, 6, 6, 7, 7, 7, 8, 8, 8, 9, 9, 9, 10, 10, 1, 1, 1, 0, 0, 0, 9, 1, 1. All the numbers, okay? Different variations of numbers too. Random numbers. The universe is communicating with itself. You. It's not an accident. Even the animals can see it, but they can't do nothing about it. I'm just playing. But anyways, so this time of challenge of being turned upside down to get enlightenment, basically having to stand on your head because everything seemed like it was backwards. You were like, what the hell is this? Why is life seemingly backwards? I know God knows that I know what I know, but you were being tested and challenged at every single turn. A dark night of the soul happened to you on the inside and the outside. And you know who you learn to rely on. You learn to rely on God. You learn to trust yourself. You learn to trust that things can get better. So let me see, what else? Anything else? Oh man, determination. Because what the hell else was there to go for? Determination, because what else would I be doing besides working with the source that created me? Some of you are saying, what are the choices? That was an obvious choice. Nothing else was a choice, but that was an obvious choice to go with and be with my maker more. Apparently, that must be why I'm being pulled so hard out of my current reality. Some of you all got with people and you thought you were going to have that fantasy life. You know, ball gowns and suits and tulips, an extended family, and everybody dressed like it's Easter. And I don't even celebrate Easter. But instead, you got some stuff that you did not anticipate. And it was almost as if someone put a spell on some of you all. But you know what that did? You could have shrunk down and got scared. It may have happened for just a second, maybe longer. Time is relative. But you know what did happen that I'm seeing here as I'm channeling this message for you all, the collective look. You realize that you're a earth angel. You felt your power. If you sat down and reflected, if you took it easy a little bit, if you interacted with the world in any kind of way, you either had internal dialogue challenges or you had it on the outside. But those challenges let you know that you don't want to feel lowly at all anymore, because that's not your nature. But you know what you learn how to do? You learn how to tap into your fire. Your fire. That's why so many things happened that challenged and tested you. Because earth angels need their root chakra open. They need it working, at least, so you can get things done and be determined and not get burned out by just trying to survive and strive. You all are going beyond desperation mode. Desperation mode has been going down for a lot of the collective in different ways. And that desperation mode, going back to the beginning of the reading where I was talking about being in freeze mode, some of you all did not know how to sit down and do the meditations. You really just didn't want to do it. Your body had too much energy. You felt like you felt guilty for trying to sit down and relax and connect with God, because you're like, what the heck, man? I need to generate some money, some movement, some progress. And so you didn't do that work. And you know what happened? The trauma, in however way it was in your line, your lineage, in some way, or you had to deal with somebody else's trauma, it froze you. A lot of the collective was frozen with PTSD, complex PTSD, complex trauma, dealing with the feelings of unfinished, unhealed, unrequited emotions from an earthly past. And earth angels aren't used to dealing with this. You were just bouncing along at some different points in your life. And then these different things happen. And they took you so caught out of yourself. There's a reason. Because you're rising up the tree of knowledge. You're rising up the ladders of your chakras. You're shining your light again. And you've been nudged and pushed and instigated and directed to constantly look within over and over now. You haven't been able to have the comfortable life that you thought you were going to have. Earth angels, some of you haven't had it like you thought you should have had it. It's happening. Direct your focus, God says, to what you want. Your spiritual quest was to come here to remember and to wake up first. You will be taken care of. As it said, seek God first and all else will be added on to you. Magician, all else has been added on to you. All you got to do is be in the vibration to receive it. Gratitude. thank you. Thank you. I'm so grateful for this. I'm so grateful for the blinds. I'm so grateful for that conversation I had yesterday. I'm so grateful for my vitamins. I'm so grateful for my tarot cards. I'm so grateful that I have a dog. I'm so grateful to not have those people in my life anymore. I'm so grateful that I'm feeling good right now. I'm so grateful to have healed my gut. I'm so grateful to be able to stretch my arms. I'm so grateful to be able to move my pinky toe. Whatever it is for you, I'm so grateful that I'm taking care of myself so well. I'm so grateful that I'm taking care of myself so well. I'm so grateful that I'm able to wake up. I'm so grateful that I'm an earth angel. So, this reading needed to be long. I'm trying to tell you, I need your support. Hit the videos, like them. I'm coming back with another one because God is in me. And I feel like the collective can use this message right now. As I've said, for Earth Angels, you will not have the life you love if you aren't doing the work you came to do. Whether that be beaming, shining your light, but you got to be beaming. You've got to have a higher vibration. You've got to be feeling good. So you've got to be using your vibration, which will attract your good. That's the amazing thing. So all of the politics and the games people played was not for nothing. You may want to keep people in your life. You may want to transition to not having them in your life anymore. You may want to do things completely differently, or a little bit of the same and a little bit of newness. It's your journey. Isolation is ending. You're calling to be with people like you. You're wanting to be around people like you. Well, coming on here and listening to this channel is one way, because I am one of these people. And if I'm not doing my work, my life is definitely taking a hit. It's not even a punishment. It's just like my wake-up call to myself. I don't want to be completely asleep while I'm here. I didn't come here for that. And you know what you're here for. You sense it. Even if you don't know, you're still on this journey to figure it out. We're all here figuring it out. That's the spiritual quest. You'll feel more comfortable with the spiritual quest. Sometimes it takes a little bit more time. Be patient with yourself. Your guides say, Spirit says, God says. Nurture yourself with love. Transmute all the negative things you said about the people who did the things. Transmute all of it into power for yourself. Don't feel guilty about it, because you are one with the source. As you nourish yourself and come forward and expand and accept yourself, you are nourishing the planet with that love, with that healing energy. So with that being said, I am putting out content to encourage my people, because I've been there. As a friend, I know. And since we both know what we know, it's time to celebrate. Because you're the master. The master's in you, and you're the master. And you actually come this lifetime to master this lifetime. That's why some of you have had it so rough. It's just like one last test, one last spiritual quest, this lifetime like that, until you just blow up. But you know you're worthy and deserving now. If you don't, get back to doing the shadow work. If you still don't know that you're worthy, go back and do some more shadow work, which we will be doing. So if you need tools for that, and journaling, and documenting your life, expressing your gratitude, being your authentic self, appreciating what's under the mask and what's on top of the mask, appreciating the mask, because the different masks are the different planetary aspects of you that have to do with the planets. It's amazing. You're amazing. But you have your directives. You have work to do. The main work for Earth Angels is raise yourself up. Rise up. As you step up and live in your authentic self, your authentic image, other people also wake up as well. As you're healing yourself, you're healing the world as well. You're one with the all. Everyone's benefiting. So you have not been selfish from being in isolation. Not at all. To pull yourself away when you know you need to work on your subconscious to stop things from coming out that didn't make sense or they didn't add up to what you wanted your life to be. There's nothing wrong with getting a hold of what those things are, figuring out what it is that you want to be there, and programming yourself with better everything, better programs, because you deserve to do that. People that have chosen to be all kinds of amazing careers out here and professions, they've chosen to be these people, right? They have to embody the talents. So you stayed in the pressure and cooked. The isolation has been amazing for your spiritual quest progress. You have to be seeing it now. Some of you, it's going to take a few more months. This is on you, though. The collective is experiencing their power now. It's like undeniable. It used to be like, oh, I'm not sure, I don't know. Some people said it like that. You know what's up now, though, don't you? Alright. I'll let you go if you're looking for readings and all of that. I will be giving them. I'd love to connect with you all. Look forward to it again. Like the reading, share it. Share it with another Earth Angel that you know. We're in this together. The last thing is abundance. Receive it. So in your affirmations, in your askformations, transmute the politics, the deception, the lessons, the blamings, transmute all of that into this abundance and say it every day. Repeat it. You're worthy and deserving. It's already done. I came to share the message that change has led to your blessings. The changes you went through have led to boundless blessings coming to you. I'm not even going to give a time frame for this, but they said 3 weeks is what came up first, but for you it could be different. But I have to be doing individual readings to see what's showing up for you. But yeah, let the light shine. And I'll talk to you all in the next one. Remember, the tools that I'm creating, whether it be the journals, the courses, whatever I'm sharing is for you as a chosen one. As an earth angel, it's for you. It's going to be something that can help you out. The meditations are also for you all as well. I'll talk to you soon. Thanks for your support.